Let's look at an example of a website where I recently installed the Google Analytics 4 tag and now I need to set up event tracking. Today we will consider an example of a form submit event that will record the filling of a web form on the site on one of the pages of website. To start, I will go to Google Tag Manager and select my website from the list. As you can see, there are no any tags or events here right now, and I will do everything from the very beginning. The main difference between Google Analytics 4 and Universal Analytics is that now even a page visit is an event, which allows you to configure conversion tracking and create reports more flexibly. The first thing you should do is to create a Google Analytics configuration tag. This is done once and there is no need to return to it in the future. You need to copy the measurement ID from the Google Analytics settings and paste it into the Google Tag Manager configuration tag. To do this, open the admin section and find the data stream link. Then, copy the desired value and return to Google Tag Manager. For this tag, we will use a special trigger, initialization, which most likely will not be useful for us anymore. So, just use it once and forget. Then you should enter the tag name and save the settings. Next, I will navigate to the website to find the particular feedback form, which should be tracked in case of successful submission. Google Tag Manager is very easy to use because you don't even have to inspect the site code to set up event tracking. All the necessary data can be found in the Google Tag Manager testing tool. We should now create a new trigger by selecting the form submission type and initially installing it for all the forms on website. A little bit later, I will set for which specific form and on what page the event will be triggered. Again, enter the trigger name and save it. Then we go to Variables tab, where you can see the default values, but there is no one of them that related of filling out forms. Let's add them by clicking the Configure button and mark the checkboxes for all variables in the web form block. Wait until all the necessary variables are shown on the page. They are loaded with a small delay. Great, variables are created. Now we move on to the testing procedure. To do this, click on the Preview button, type the site URL, and click Connect. The Google Tag Manager testing tool opens and your website opens in a new window. If everything is configured correctly, then in the lower right corner of the screen you should see the inscription Tag Assistant Connected. Now you need to fill in all the fields of the form to send it. When the form is submitted, we return to the inspection tool and click to the Continue button. Here you can see the data that Tag Manager received. The first is the initialization tag. To continue the configuration further, we need to open the Form Submit tab and view the variables received from the form. The events can be triggered by different reasons, but in this case we will use the CSS class of the form. Copy it and go back to the main window of the Tag Manager and open the trigger created earlier to update it. Now, instead of all forms, I will select some forms and specify the form CSS class in the first field and add one more to set the URL of the form page. I save the trigger and create a new tag, which will transmit the event to Google Analytics. I should click on the New button, then select the tag type from the list. Right now we are interested in only one type of tag, an event. Let's select it and then also select the previously created configuration tag. It is important to create the name of event, according to which you will be able to understand exactly in Google Analytics which form was submitted on the website. I already created the trigger a couple minutes ago, so I'll just select it from the list. Let's save our tag. Now, when we have made quite a few changes to Google Manager, you need to apply them by clicking on the Publish button. On the next step, I need to check if the event would be sent by the trigger that I set up. But there is a very important thing that you should know. After you have published the changes, the events will start transmitting to Google Analytics in a few hours, so I recommend to wait 24 hours. So now, when 24 hours has passed, let's try to submit the form on the website again and see if the event will work first in the verification tool and then in the Google Analytics report. Here we can see that both tags have been fired, the initialization tag and the event tag, which I set up earlier to track the form submission event on the website. And finally, I will open Google Analytics and go to the events report in the engagement section to check if the event I created is being submitted. I see that the data is being received, and it means that the setup work is completed. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it interesting, please like and subscribe to my channel.